Okay, hello guys. So welcome back to another update on nothing, well, on not an usual video anyway. So in this episode, in this video, I am going to show you something cool. So how do you actually build Chinese style? So a lot of people's like, if you watch Korean, then you're pretty familiar with that. And this kind of the Japanese style building is not bad, but it's literally just a mess. It's very simple and things. And yeah, so if you want to find out how to get from this to that, then you should watch this video. And please watch to the end of this video to find out every single tip and tricks that you can do with building on Chinese and Japanese style. And consider clicking the like button if you enjoy this video or if you find the tips and tricks useful in your building. Okay, so my first tip today is so most of these tips will be based on the roof because Chinese styles, the interesting parts of Chinese style is mostly on the roof. So the first tip is the texturing and like the up and down of the roof. You will get it you will get it. So let's just assume we are not gonna build the walls of this building. So let's just build ourselves a 5x5 thing, symmetrical, and then we want to put some kind of block around this thing, this cube. So the spaces between the pillars and the pillar itself is recommended to be an odd number because we're gonna do something like this, and if it's not an odd number, then trust me, it will not work at all. And if you just want to try it out to see how idiotic it would look if it's not an odd number, then you're welcome to. So what am I gonna use here is just some acacia and dark oak wood. So what we're doing right now is the thing that's keeping the roof up, because in Chinese style the roof, they're trying to make a kind of feeling that the roof is very high and floaty, but it's actually not. So it's very weird. It's kind of but kind of not. It's not like futuristic style, but still. So you're just and then the black dark oak is just adding a bit more things, and the support on this structure is these things. They're very simple and in my opinion just not creative at all. So, and we are building this in a larger scale, and this will be explained a bit later on in a few other tips. Sorry, I've got a bit of a sickness right now. So this part is a very important part of the build to make it look a bit more realistic instead of just floaty roofs. Well, it still looks good, but not completely. And then you really want to put like lines horizontal lines between the vertical support to make it feel a bit more advanced, because Chinese styles is a very advanced and just and then if you want to feel that there's walls, if there is walls there, then you want to do something like that. And I suggest snow blocks. It's easy to get in survival, and it has a nice kind of texture to it, and it's very light. And it's very cheap. So now, let's move on. We are going to build the actual roof. So what you want to do here is this is not a block by block tutorial, so you can do it very differently than this. I don't really mind. So now, you want to do something like this. So it's like going up and down, just like the texturing of like the curves of the building. And then, you just want to make a feeling like this. And the bottom of the building is very just like going up like this, the roof. So in European style building, your roof is just going like, it's just a triangle, a plain triangle, just like that. But in Eastern Chinese style building, you have a nice curve that's going, the degree of the angle is going up and up, a bit by a bit. So you want to create, so this here is 1, and then here it's going up 2. So here, right there is going up once per 2 slabs, and then here it's going up once per 1 slab. And then I'm not gonna build this build properly, just saying, because this is just a tutorial. And then after a few 1 by 1 slabs, you want to bring this up a bit more. So then this build will be going up one block per block, like that. It may look a bit weird right now, but that's just how it is. And then you just keep going like that. And this element is sometimes missing in a lot of Chinese builds built by Western people, because they just never get to see like Chinese style, because, well, you see European style, I guess, every day, like that. Well, this build is not a real build, so I don't really care. Okay. And then you might be like, well, how do we build the corners? Well, how I do it is going up 1, going down 1, going up 1, and then going up another 1. Depending on the scale of your build, this is going to be different. So don't expect to use this on every single build. And then this is quite fiddly in Minecraft, because you see, it automatically deletes 2 of the slabs. So you may have to do this in multiple tries, but that's just how building is. And then you want to fill it out like that. You can do it differently, but stick with the idea of this kind of thing. And then to add a bit more like texturing of this thing, you want to delete that block, that, and that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it like, put this here, and make sure they're equal, the height of 4 blocks. And then if you wanna get a bit more fancier and do the lantern, then get a fence, any fence you want. I suggest not this 3 fences, but depending on you. And then get a red concrete, and then get a oak trapdoor suggested, actually, or acacia. I haven't tried both of them. I only tried that one out yet. And then get glowstone. It has to be glowstone. And then place 1 there, you can place that 2 blocks, but you'll need more space. In this tutorial, we just wouldn't. And the lantern will be hanging on air if you're doing this properly. And then place the trapdoors like this. And then that's there you go, that's your lantern. Yeah, this build looks a bit weird because, well, it's a tutorial. And if you wanna get more fancier, adding more details, then you can simply do something like on the 2 edges of this up thing. Well, you are going to connect that like vertically with this line. So you're gonna do something. Yeah, I'm not gonna. And then, yeah, let's get back to what we were talking about. So you're gonna do something like that. And then to create this kind of like hook. And if you don't like that, then you could also do something like that. That looks a bit weird. I personally like the other one, but depends on you. Or you can just do it simply like that. Like that, yeah. Depends on you. And then moving on to the next step, the walls. So I suggest spruce logs for the pillars, and I suggest snow blocks for the actual walls if you are doing walls. And then if you're not doing walls, then I suggest you use acacia wood stairs, pillar quartz block, and also, oh my god, acacia wood slab. And you will find out what I am going to do with that. So I'm just gonna start off with the walls ones. So depending on your you can put this either 5, 6, or 7 blocks high. And I usually do 6 blocks, sometimes 7 blocks. I never do 5 blocks. But this time we're gonna do 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then leave a 5 gaps space. And then place another 7 blocks. And then count 2 blocks up. 2, and then place that. And then do that the same. And then to connect and then this is a part of the roof. And then put this on top to separate the walls from the roof. And then you're gonna do the roof strategy on top of the walls. Yeah. So you're just gonna start the roof strategy the same thing we basically just did. And then, oh my god, sorry, you're not meant to be doing that. And then you're putting filling this up with the top one and bottom one up with snow blocks. And the middle one is where the window's gonna be if you are going to make a window. And then if you want the window to be larger, then delete this pillar, and then move it another 2 blocks away. And then simply just do that. And then do something like this. You might be like, what am I doing right now? And then do that. And then fill this up with barrier. And then, yeah, see? Well, this is not going to work in survival. So you just have to do it the slow way. You have to put blocks here, and then put the trapdoor, and then delete, and then mine the blocks. So, and then you break the barrier if you want to break it, and if you don't want to, then, well, you don't have to. And that's your walls done. And then if you want to do it the non-pillory way, then you put the non-wall way, and then you put a pillar quartz block at first, and then you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks up, and then you put that, and that's going to be your pillar. And then you put that there, that there, that there, that there. These are all small details, and trust me, they are essential for building in Chinese style. And then you do that, and then that's 2 blocks. And then do that. And then count 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then do the same pillar design for this one. And then this design is often used in ancient Chinese palaces for the emperors. And yeah, and then you're gonna do your roofs up at the top, just what we just did on the roof tip. And then if you wanna get a bit more advanced, you simply can by doing, what did I just do? Okay, you can simply make it more advanced by doing that. This would be not as easy in survival mode, I know, but it is worth it. Yeah, and this is 2 of my tips. And then the 3rd tip is simply the scale of the building. Obviously, this build is not built by me, just saying. This build is built by the Epic Work team. About the scale is a very important kind of thing when you're building Chinese style, because Chinese style is so detailed. Take a look at all these pictures. The scale makes it look more realistic. It gives you more places and opportunities and just space to show all your creativity. The scale in Chinese build is literally it just changes everything. A lot of Western people just forgets about the scale, and this tip is one of the very important tips. You've got to work on the scale. So thanks very much for watching this video, and if you like this video, then consider subscribing and uncage that like button and bring up your bell.